I'll be honest, I had no idea that fan votes could cause this much drama, but it has been a couple of days and the crying hasn't stopped. As hip-hop media personalities, reactors, and streamers continue to lament on how Eminem didn't deserve for fans to vote him as their favorite hip-hop artist of 2024. And while I'll leave you to ponder on that logic, like a fan of an artist is expected to vote for another artist instead of the one that they loved, because...
Don't know.
And now we have another one, join the likes of Stevie Knight, Steve Knight, and oh, we got some more on Steve, save for later, and now we got Ebro and his team out here going off about how it is some robbery that Eminem won favorite hip-hop artist and favorite hip-hop album, all while they claimed they didn't want to slander Eminem, but the actions said otherwise, with the notion that the win was undeserved. And before we get to it, we have some positivity saved for later. Well, positivity in this case is subjective, seeing as we have mined more tears from Eminem's wins at the AMAs than could be mined from the Dead Sea. But we'll save it for later from Russ, where he spoke about the influence of rappers like 50 Cent and Eminem when he was coming up, and starting out with Ebro and his team playing dumb, like they don't know that this was fan voted. And I say playing dumb because ignorance is not a good look for people who want us to believe that they are seasoned journalists. So I'm doing them a favor here.
They done turned around and gave your man Eminem Rapper of the Year at the American Music Awards.
Okay.
Y'all, man, come on, man.
I don't know if it was technically Rapper of the Year. It was more like favorite rapper or favorite hip hop artist, right?
What?
Let me try to find it.
They gave Rap Album of the Year too, though.
Yeah, make it stop. Listen, and here's what sucks. My intention here is not to slander Eminem.
This is why we started with the pleasantries.
That's not even my intent. I like the last album that he put out, actually. I like where he's at in his career. I love Eminem as an artist. There is no intent of mine to be shady about this.
Okay, but listen, so to specify, it wasn't best of the year, it was favorite male hip hop artist. Now, I understand this is controversial.
America's favorite? The American Music Awards favorite?
That's the thing, we don't know who it is.
Like
we don't know who it is.
Like
we don't know who it is. He was up against Drake, Future, Kendrick, and Tyler. So
listen, we don't even gotta preface this. If there was ever a year where it was just unanimously decided who had the best rap album, who was the favorite rapper
They wasn't
of the
talking
year,
to anybody in rap.
And like you said, we don't have to preface this. We don't have to do the no disrespect.
But here's
Eminem.
what I do want to say this though. This is why nobody don't watch that shit. I didn't even know that shit was on, part one, American Music Awards, and two, this reminded me that I'm glad I didn't tune in.
And perhaps next time they should do a better job of hiding their bias, because before they continued, they briefly spoke about Janet Jackson, and the change in demeanor to briefly speak on Janet Jackson is all you need to know about their true feelings about Eminem.
I'm glad I didn't tune in. But I'm also mad I didn't tune in because they had Janet up there getting the Icon Award. And I heard she was up there bodying it.
She looks great. So J-Lo was up there dancing, doing some J-Lo dances. Kai Cenat, shout out to Kai. Shabuzi was looking kind of like the Carters invented country music. Things happen.
Shabuzi, your response was
great.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. Shout out to Shabuzi, man.
But anyway, back to Eminem. 25 years since an actual one of the greatest hip hop albums. The Marshall Mathers LP. You would put this in one of the greatest hip hop albums, yes, Eddie?
Unquestionably. This was the beginning of an unprecedented run for an artist on this planet. Like, whatever stat you have for hip hop, Eminem has it. Like, most albums sold, diamond, number ones, Grammys, Emmys. I know Emmys didn't think, but he has it all, and it all started with this album. Like, personally, Down Before this was my favorite, but this is the one that gave a stand and cemented him as the greatest rapper on the planet and helped put hip hop in the early 2000s into a different stratosphere. Like we said, it's nothing but respect for Eminem, bro. Bars, got it. Hits, got it. Everything you would talk about for a rapper, he has it, and it started with this album. So yeah, it's pivotal. It's a moment. Like, and if you were around for this, you could not escape it. Like, it was everywhere.
So American Music Awards. Question, I wonder if they celebrated this 25 years ago. That would have been appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, was the award show around that long? I don't know.
The American Music Awards been around for a long time. That's where Michael Jackson was was up there bodying on American Music Awards back in the day.
Yeah, he was
That used to be the big award show.
Was it?
American Music Awards was brolic for a while.
I mean, Eminem was big about the VMAs, but remember, he was also very controversial. So if they were a safe award show at that time, there's a good chance that they weren't honoring and celebrating him.
Like
we don't know who it is.
Like
we don't know who it is.
And this whole thing is quite strange, because what did people expect from the millions who believed Eminem was their favorite rapper in 2024? Like, what happened to the whole debate about how music is subjective? Why must a person who believes Eminem was their favorite rapper of 2024 choose to instead vote for Kendrick? Perhaps a lot of you may have forgotten, but we covered it when The Death of Slim Shady released, and the fan reception was perhaps the best we've seen since MMLP 2. But somehow, the fans who really believed that this was a return to form were supposed to ignore how they felt about the album, because Ebro and them believe Kendrick was the only choice to vote for, and they are free to believe what they want, and perhaps they used that belief to vote for who they wanted to win. But what has that got to do with the fans who voted for Eminem? Why were their beliefs expected to change? Like, I've been trying to wrap my head around the comments about how Eminem didn't deserve it, because it is the other way around. We have conclusive proof that Kendrick didn't deserve it, Future didn't deserve it, Tyler didn't deserve it. And you know how we know that they didn't deserve it? Because they lost the vote. That's how. End of story.
Absolutely, it's not rocket science.
And have you also noticed how suddenly the Grammys are the credible ones lately, when hip-hop media for years have been crying about how the Grammys is irrelevant? Now fans choose to vote how they want, and it is a problem because their darling didn't win the awards. And mind you, the way they've been reacting, you'd think Eminem had a horrible 2024, but it turns out that while they were debating Drake versus Kendrick all year and making bank on the Drake versus Kendrick debate, clearly the fans were enjoying Eminem's music and buying up and streaming his projects globally, to the point that somehow he managed to end the year as the second biggest rapper of 2024 against the odds. And this is not my opinion, this is straight from the IFPI. So what is shocking about the second biggest rapper of the year winning these awards? And not too long ago, we didn't see these shocked faces when Doechii beat out albums that sold quadruple its numbers at the Grammys. They didn't cry about how it made no noise in the mainstream or how it charted compared to the other albums. Suddenly, they are talking about how Kendrick was dominating the charts with Not Like Us because, you know, now the numbers matter when they want it to matter. Noted. And in response to the way they reacted to Eminem winning, some have expanded. I think all of them don't understand how pathetic and hilarious they all look and sound. Okay, I voted. Is this dude crying in my direction? No, I will vote for whom I choose. Next, please. Everyone knows Eminem. How many will recognize this slender man on the street of any city? And forgive my ramblings, but check this out. If I thought The Death of Slim Shady was my favorite album of 2024, why should I have voted against my reality for Kendrick? Can anyone who believes Kendrick deserved it answer this question from my perspective, or the millions of fans who voted The Death of Slim Shady as their favorite? Or is this some participation trophy that we need to pass around because Eminem has won too many awards in the past? And we got more from users confused by this. It is absolutely hilarious how all these people working for the media, and they are supposed to know a few things about award shows that's been happening for years, they still don't know the most obvious thing. It is not like the AMAs decided to give AMP 2 awards, especially when he didn't even attend the show. The fans did. Ebro is just another washed up hater. F him anyway. And people think just because they start a statement with, "I'm a huge fan of Eminem," but like that's supposed to validate what comes after. And even Stevie Knight did the same thing when he spoke on how Eminem didn't deserve it, what the fans voted for him to win, which is an oxymoron. And on Stevie's case, hundreds of fans across social media platforms are currently discussing this post from X. See, this is why I don't F with them reactors how I used to. They use Eminem to gain followers, and then they turn on him in the next few years. Why Eminem didn't deserve to win. His last album went #1 in the 60 countries, and you reacted to it and called it dope. And like we already pointed out, people forgot that Eminem had a very successful 2024, even more successful than Kendrick based on the numbers in 2024. And remember, Houdini was the most successful hip-hop single based on the number of countries in which it earned certifications in 2024. It was a global hit, and if you are keeping score, we got another one. I'm a diehard stan, but I detect no lie in what Stevie said. But if they deserved the awards, how come they lost Or do you think your opinion should win against the millions who chose to vote like what is not clicking?
The world does not revolve around you.
And we got more. Oh, come on, man. He didn't deserve it when there is Kendrick. But it is a fan-voted award, so other people could have voted instead of crying about the result. And I'm wondering, where were these people after the Grammys when Doechii won over albums that ran laps around Alligator Bites Never Heal, based on commercial performance, fan conversations, and fan reception? We didn't see these people, and to this the initial user responded with, "I'm not saying Kendrick didn't deserve it. Oh, I'm saying Kendrick didn't deserve it. This was fan voted. The people decided who was their favorite. No need to be civil here. He had a crazy year, but they act like Eminem hasn't done anything in years when he released an album last year that went #1. And Stevie was also a hot topic on Reddit, and some believe his opinion was fueled by his hate for Drake. He's not hating or even dissing Eminem. The thing is, he hates Drake even more than Kendrick does. So for him, Kendrick winning best whatever the award is would be a blow to Drake. And I understand this logic, to be honest. It was clear a lot of hip-hop fans genuinely hated Drake, to the point that anyone who could take Drake out would be crowned the GOAT in their eyes. And from a hater's point of view, this makes a lot of sense. But like the votes suggested, the fans chose the love for M over the hate they had for Drake in this one. And clearly, these media personalities are struggling to deal with this fact. And before we end it today, we got to hear from Russ from Shaq's The Big Podcast with Shaq. And Russ briefly spoke about how influential 50 and M were to him.
Who influenced you?
Growing up, it was Eminem was the first one that the bug that bit me. Eminem, it was like G Unit, Eminem, 50, Lloyd Banks.
Did you have the tank tops?
No, but my first rap I ever wrote was I'm from Queens with baggy jeans, and I was not from Queens. But 50 was the coolest person in the world. Right. You know what I mean? So it was G Unit, and then it was Wayne.
Before you go, give me your Mount Rushmore. We always do this with artists.
My favorite, it's funny, my favorite is different than who I technically think is the best. Who I technically think is the best is Black Thought.
Oh yeah, me. Did you see his Hot 97 freestyle?
I watch it religiously. When you have writer's block, yes. Just watch that.
Yeah.
Black Thought, M, Jay-Z. Technically, it's probably Andre 3000 is maybe where I would go with that fourth. That's just the best. My favorite though is Drake, Ye, Nipsey, M.
And in response to this, some believe that a collab is overdue, and I'll be looking forward to your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.